everyone. Let's have a closer look to a currently happening economic phenomenon in case of Indian rupee. You might have noticed Indian rupee is coming to a great fall over US dollar in the current past. And when you're looking into the statistics, it's very clear that over the year of 2022 alone, the fall of Indian rupee over US dollar, we call it depreciation, is about 9%. So now you might be thinking, what is this depreciation, right? Yes, rupee depreciation is nothing but Indian rupee has become less valuable to US dollar. Right? So depreciation is that when one currency becomes less valuable over other, we call it depreciation. So currently Indian rupee is depreciated over US dollar and it is like into a huge fall or a record low rate that Indian rupee is going through over US dollar. So we can see that what is this depreciation and what does that connect or relation between Indian rupee over US dollar. Looking closer to that, keep in mind the relationship between Indian rupee, that is the value of Indian rupee to US dollar, is on a demand supply basis. So making it very clear, the demand supply basis relationship of this value of Indian rupee to US dollar, it is nothing but when the US dollar is having a very high demand, the value of Indian rupee depreciates. And it's vice versa, of course. If Indian rupee is having a very high demand, we may expect US dollar to fall down or to have a depreciation as well. So this is what is that demand supply relationship of the value of Indian rupee to US dollar. So there are a lot of factors that are responsible or which might be the reason for the fall of this Indian rupee over this US dollar, we can say. Now let's see what are those factors which are responsible for the fall of Indian rupee over US dollar. There are factors like the existing Ukraine crisis, we can say, and also like the increasing interest rates by the US Federal Reserves, and also the investors who are selling Indian stocks over the foreign ones, and many more reasons we can say as factors of this downfall of this rupee over this US dollar. But the growing trade deficit, see, not it, the growing trade deficit happens to be the most important or the acute reason of this downfall of Indian currency. So you should know what is this trade deficit and how did it affect Indian rupee in the current context. The growing trade deficit is nothing but the imports are growing into a great extent than the export. So that is bringing a great bigger gap, and that is what we call trade deficits. So when you're looking into the data of Indian context currently, you can see that India's merchandise export, see, India's merchandise exports in April-August, in the month of April-August itself is kind of total to 192.59 billion US dollars. And what is that merchandise imports? Imports are like up to 317, that is 317.81 billion US dollars. So that gap is real, and the trade deficit that is caused by the gap between this export and import is one of the very acute reason of this fall of Indian currency, we can say. And of course, when the rupee is weaker, it is very obvious that the purchase of this imports, the cost of imports will also go very higher, and it can even create a negative impact over our domestic production as well as our GDP or our gross domestic product, we can say. And definitely when this rupee is weaker, it's going to affect the lives of the common people in multiple dimensions, and that is what we are seeing, and that makes rupee depreciation or the fall of depreciation to be a nightmare for the people of the country. The impact of this rupee depreciation in different sectors or to the lives of this common people or the citizens is in different way. We can say that how different is that rupee downfall have hit on IT industry, cement production, garment production, pharmaceuticals. It's like very different from industry to industry. At some points when the turnovers are being billed in US dollars, such companies like IT field get some type of a benefit out of it, similar way. But we can say that this downfall of Indian rupee is definitely a shaker to the economy, and let's wait for more updates to come soon in the next video. For more videos on your day-to-day happenings, stay tuned to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. Thank you.